Melania Trump, the former First Lady known worldwide for her grace and elegance, wasn't adorned in her usual designer attire. Instead, she chose a simple, understated look: an oversized jacket, well-worn jeans, and a casual scarf draped loosely around her neck. A wide-brimmed hat concealed much of her face, and her shoes, while practical, bore the marks of age. It was a deliberate disguise. Today, Melania had a plan. She wasn't attending a high-profile event or delivering a speech. Instead, she wanted to test something deeply personal: how people treat someone who doesn't appear to fit the mold of their expectations. Ahead of her stood Brew Haven Coffee Shop, a modest yet well-loved spot known for its inviting ambience and cozy charm. This wasn't a luxurious tea room or a lavish bistro often associated with her world. It was, however, the perfect location for her experiment. The warm aroma of fresh coffee and pastries wafted out as she approached the entrance. Her reflection in the glass door revealed nothing of her usual polished self. She saw only the anonymity she sought. As she reached for the door, a burly security guard named Rick blocked her path. He was firm but polite, his presence a stark reminder of the invisible barriers that often surround certain spaces. "Sorry, ma'am, are you lost?" Rick asked, his tone cautious but tinged with suspicion. "I'm here for a cup of coffee," Melania replied softly, her accent still evident but her voice humble. She pulled out a few crumpled bills from her pocket, a gesture that seemed to disarm Rick slightly. He hesitated, scanning her appearance again before stepping aside. Inside, the cafe buzzed with quiet conversation and the clinking of cups. Melania walked toward the counter, where two young baristas were stationed. One, a cheerful young man named Ethan, greeted her warmly. "Good morning. What can I get for you?" he asked with a genuine smile. Before she could respond, the other barista, Cindy, rolled her eyes and muttered under her breath, "Great, another one." Melania caught the comment but chose not to react. "I'll have a cappuccino, please," she said, her voice steady. Ethan moved quickly to prepare her order, while Cindy made no effort to hide her irritation. She shifted her weight and sighed loudly, her demeanor radiating impatience. Despite the tension, Melania remained poised, her expression calm as she waited. A few minutes later, Ethan returned with a perfectly crafted cappuccino, placing it gently in front of her. "Here you go. Enjoy," he said, his tone kind and welcoming. "Thank you," Melania replied, giving him a small, gracious smile. She took her drink and found a seat by the window where she could observe the cafe's atmosphere. She watched as Ethan continued to serve customers with warmth and professionalism, offering kind words and a patient demeanor even to the most demanding patrons. Cindy, however, was a different story. Her irritation seemed to permeate the air around her. A middle-aged woman approached the counter, hesitating as she tried to decide between two items on the menu. Cindy's response was curt, her body language dismissive. The woman's smile faltered as she quickly placed her order, clearly feeling unwelcome. Melania sipped her cappuccino slowly, her thoughts lingering on the contrasting attitudes of the two baristas. Ethan's kindness shone brightly, a reminder that decency and respect could thrive in even the smallest acts. Cindy's impatience, however, was a stark reflection of how appearances and biases could shape interactions. She stayed in the cafe for nearly an hour, blending into the background as she continued her quiet observation. The experience left her with much to ponder. How often, she wondered, do people dismiss someone based on what they see rather than who they are? And how much kindness does it take to bridge that gap? As she left the cafe, she offered Ethan a heartfelt thank you and a parting smile, a small gesture of gratitude for the lesson he had unknowingly imparted. For Melania, this simple experiment wasn't just about understanding others, it was a reminder that the smallest acts of kindness, can leave the deepest impressions. Melania Trump, known for her poise and elegance, entered Brew Haven Coffee Shop not in the designer ensembles she was often associated with, but in simple, understated attire. It was part of a personal experiment, a test to see how the world would treat her without the aura of fame and status. The cafe, bustling with activity, seemed the perfect stage to observe human behavior stripped of pretense. As Melania waited in line, she noticed the baristas behind the counter. Ethan, a cheerful young man, was engaging warmly with the customers, while Cindy, another employee, barely looked up from her phone. When a middle-aged woman approached to ask questions about the menu, Cindy snapped at her, dismissing her inquiries with a sharp tone. The woman left visibly upset, while Ethan continued to serve others with patience and kindness, offering lighthearted conversation and genuine smiles. Melania quietly observed from a corner table, sipping her cappuccino. The disparity between Ethan's professionalism and Cindy's indifference struck her. This wasn't just about customer service. It was a study in human kindness and the biases people often harbor. When she finished her coffee, Melania approached the counter. Ethan was wiping it down, still smiling, while Cindy remained engrossed in her phone. Clearing her throat, Melania caught Ethan's attention. "Excuse me, Ethan," she began. "Yes, ma'am," he responded, looking up with surprise. "I wanted to tell you you're a kind and thoughtful person," she said with a warm smile. Ethan looked startled but pleased. "Thank you, ma'am. That means a lot." Melania glanced at Cindy, who had yet to acknowledge her presence. "Kindness, Ethan," she continued, "is rare these days, but you embody it. You treat everyone with respect, no matter who they are." Ethan nodded, still unsure where the conversation was headed. Melania reached into her pocket and produced a sleek card with her name embossed in gold. "Call this number tomorrow," she said, sliding the card across the counter. Ethan's eyes widened as he read the name, Melania Trump. "Wait, Melania Trump?" he stammered, his disbelief evident. "Yes," she said with a gentle smile. "I've been watching how you interact with people. Your heart is kind, and I believe you deserve more. Call the number, Ethan." Cindy finally looked up, her expression skeptical. "What's this all about?" she muttered. "Why would someone like her help him?" Melania turned to Cindy, her gaze steady. "Kindness is something you might want to try, Cindy. It changes everything." Ethan clutched the card as if it were a lifeline, his mind racing. The next day, he nervously dialed the number. To his astonishment, he was connected to Melania's team, who scheduled a meeting for him. At the appointment, he learned that Melania had spoken highly of him, opening the door to an opportunity he never dreamed of. 2 weeks later, Ethan was offered a role managing hospitality for a luxury event, a step into a world he had always admired from afar. The promotion allowed him to support his family better and pursue his long-held dreams. His mother wept with pride, and his father, a retired small business owner, celebrated his success. As for Cindy, her story took a different turn. Her lack of professionalism and courtesy eventually led to her reassignment to another cafe branch, where she struggled to rebuild her reputation. Ethan, however, thrived. He carried the lessons Melania had imparted, treating everyone with the respect and warmth that had caught her attention in the first place. Years later, as Ethan passed by Brew Haven Coffee Shop, he smiled, recalling the day a stranger's kindness changed his life forever. It reminded him that in a world often quick to judge, grace and respect could create ripples of transformation. And so, the story comes full circle, a testament to the power of seeing beyond appearances and uplifting those who embody true kindness. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more fascinating stories like this. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.